Welcome back, everybody. My name is Steve Smith. I'm the editor of PHC News Magazine, and we are here at PHCPPros Live, a series of live interviews we're doing at our booth here at ASPE. And Uponor North America is back at ASPE with a big presence, and we're going to talk to Aaron Stotko. Sorry.
Yes, sir.
Silent T on the second T. They have 4 big themes for the show attendees this year, and we're going to talk to Aaron about those. Aaron's been with the company for 12 years, growing from an engineering intern to now a leader within the company's marketing division. So, Aaron, thanks for coming on board.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Good to meet you. I think it's
appreciate
safe to say that, well, I was telling you before we went live that I know Uponor from the Orsbo days back in the day. So I think it's safe to say everybody kind of knows you about PEX, but there's more in your mind than just the piping itself.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us a little bit more about these 4 big things that you are going to talk about more at your booth?
Yeah, and I think, Steve, the legacy of Uponor still lives on. There's a lot of people that are still with us that you probably remember from back in the days of Ursbo. So it's great to have that passed on, especially to newer leaders like myself. So
Absolutely.
That culture is still very real. So, but yeah, to the question about ASPE, very excited to be here. It feels so good to just be back again and have a chance to connect with customers. It's
Sure.
been a long
time.
a long valley, I guess we could say, between when we've been really engaged at trade shows. So, and there's a lot that's happened during that time. So for Uponor, we're really focused on our services here for the professional engineering community, specifically for plumbing engineers. We're also highlighting Uponor Project Delivery, which we can dive into in more detail throughout the course of our time here this afternoon. Uponor AquaPorts, which is a brand new innovation for Uponor and the technology that we're looking to really pioneer in the North American market. That's really more common in Europe, so we're excited about kind of the synergies that we have from an organizational standpoint to help change and really influence our industry in a really positive way. And then the last area that we're really emphasizing at the booth is new products. And so there's a lot to talk about with some of the services that we have, but also some products that we've continued to make sure that we're investing in to fill the needs for our customers.
Very good. Good to hear. Now, AquaPort is brand new to the show. It's debuting here. So I was wondering, hey, have I not seen a press release about this before? But it's brand new to the show. So tell us a little more about the AquaPort.
It is. So the AquaPort is a product that in Europe is categorized as heat interface units. But really what it is it's a way for us to create domestic hot water on demand for commercial buildings. It works best for buildings that are, high plumbing density, so hospitality, multifamily, student housing, healthcare, where you need to create domestic hot water, and there's a lot of domestic hot water, but the traditional systems are being challenged. There's a lot of conversation at this show, especially around water quality, hygiene. Engineers obviously are very in tune with energy efficiency and what the costs are associated with that. And this product eliminates the centralized domestic hot water system in buildings to create domestic hot water on demand using the heating hot water system. So we're able to take advantage of hydronic equipment or mechanical equipment that's in the building and leverage it with a double wall heat exchanger to create that domestic hot water on demand. And that allows us to eliminate a lot of the domestic hot water volume in the building, but it also allows us to have a really positive impact to the energy efficiency. So it's about a 35% energy efficiency gain when you use AquaPorts over a traditional system, and we're able to eliminate about 50% of the domestic hot water volume that would go in your commercial building. So there's a lot to be excited about with AquaPorts for sure.
And I should clarify, it's debuting here to the North American market, but this has been a product used for some time, I suppose, in Europe and Scandinavia, is that right?
Yeah, so in 1999, there was a hygiene standard that was enacted in Germany, and that really was the catalyst for this technology to take off in Europe. Uponor has roots in heat interface units, or AquaPorts, as we're going to refer to them here in North America, since 2004. So they're designed and built in Germany, so there's a lot of history that has gone into the development of these. And really for us, it's about North Americanizing the device, making sure that it not only is constructible here in our market, but that we understand the implications with North American equipment, codes, and regulations. And that's where we've really spent a lot of our energy over the course of the last few years, really making sure that the application really fits here, and that the regulatory barriers that might be there for a device that's never been seen by our codes before, we're in a situation where we can address some of those.
So all those regulatory issues and code issues have been resolved. I mean, this product is ready to go for the North American installation.
So we partnered with International Co-Counsel, so the ICC and their evaluation services team, to make sure that we have a PMG report that shows compliance with the code. So all the different model codes we have compliance with, and then we also have different standards that we need to list the device to. But as you can imagine, code is not written for something that it's never seen. So there's little nuance that you have to make sure that you're paying attention to, and that you have the right documentation. So we partnered with ASSE, the American Society of Sanitation Engineers, to have a listing evaluation criteria created for one of the valves inside the device. One of the really unique things about an AquaPort is it's 100% mechanical. So when we create domestic hot water on demand, it doesn't require you to have utilities, electrical, venting, or anything to locate it. So you can really place the device where it's going to be the best for the domestic hot water requirements for that space. But in doing so, we use a proportional control valve that has mechanical operation that works on the differential pressure of the plumbing system to create flow, which means we don't have flow switches and things like that. But that valve is new to the world, and that's again where we are new to North America, and that's where partnering with these different industry associations that help kind of write and pioneer technology has been so important for us.
So all the T's and all the T's have been crossed, all the I's have been dotted.
Lots of dots.
Ready to go. It sounds like a lot.
Absolutely.
I'm kind of curious, were there any refinements that had to be made to the product itself in North America, or was it just a matter of, getting the codes stuff?
It was very much around regulation, but we did modify it for North America. So the device is 14.5 inches wide, so it can actually fit in between two studs, 16 inches on center if they are spaced only at 16.
Okay.
And it's 5.9 inches deep, so it actually fits in a wall. So when we talk about these different installation practices, real estate's really expensive. So we can't have domestic hot water devices that actually take up usable square footage. And so by being able to put this in a wall, in our construction, we're able to not have any impacts to the sale price of the property, but we're also able to get it located again where it's going to be optimized for the system. And then the last modification that we had to do is make sure that the valves were listed. We actually have a 3/4 inch connection on the bottom of the AquaPort that is it's 3/4 inch female national pipe thread, and that valve is actually really unique. It sounds simple, just a ball valve or an isolation valve, but there's some unique things that we had to do to make that work. So that way, all the parts and pieces that our customers are using on a day-to-day basis are plug and play with the device.
All right. Well, that's quite a lot of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very innovative. So good job on that. Now, before we switch gears on another question, we were trying to play around with an AR app that you have. When people go to your booth, they can play around with it. So can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so one of the things that we thought a lot about as an organization is how do you explain something to somebody that they've never seen before? And an AquaPort weighs 70 pounds. It's not the lightest thing, so hauling it around.
Right, so you didn't bring in one here.
Yeah, unfortunately, we did not bring one here. And actually, we use a dolly to move it around in our offices. But to be able to explain it consistently with people as well, we partnered with a company called REM5 to create an augmented reality experience. So simply by scanning the QR code with your phone, it'll pull up your camera, and you'll see a virtual AquaPort literally appear right in front of you, and you can place it on the table, and it'll walk you through kind of what it looks like, and it'll simulate flow through the device and explain all the different parts and pieces of it to really give it an interactive experience that's consistent for anybody wherever they're coming from.
So anyone with a smartphone can scan the QR code and magically see this when they go to your booth?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So let's switch gears a little bit and talk about another product, another fitting actually, fittings. and specifically it's the cold expansion F1960 connections. Now, over the past few years, some customers have had trouble getting this, and I think you've resolved it. So why don't you tell us a little more about it?
Yeah, so F1960 is an ASTM standard. So it's a standard for cold expansion fittings. Uponor has pioneered and really brought to the market what we call ProPEX fittings. So they're above and beyond what I would say the ASTM F1960 standard is. So not everything is created equally. So when we hear F1960, that's really just talking about compliance with the standard, and ProPEX is really Uponor's brand. And when you see the profile of our connection and the engineering that's gone into it, you can see some of those differences between some of the other expansion fittings out on the market. But having said that, to get back to your question, the last 18 to 24 months has been a challenging time in the market for really everybody in construction. In the plumbing industry is no different than that. Getting your hands on materials, consistency of supply has been a challenge for our customers, and it's been a challenge for Uponor. And so, it's been difficult to get fittings, and we're in a position now where we've got security of our resin supply, and we're able to get all of our fittings back out in the market, and we're looking forward to being able to offer all these connections back to our customers. We offer 117 different configurations of these connections, and at one time we couldn't even make all those, and we had to kind of reel it in and decide what were the most critical fittings for us to be able to give to our customers, and let's make sure that we can make those. And it was a tough time, and it's something that we weren't proud of. I think we faced it, we looked in the mirror, we knew what we were up against, and it definitely feels good to be putting that behind us.
I hope so.
Sure, Steve.
And I mean, obviously the fittings are maybe the most important part.
You need the pipe and you need the connection, or else the water is not going where you want it.
You can't do anything without that. So you've resolved those supply chain issues, I guess. That have affected a lot of people in our industry for the last couple of years.
Knock on wood.
Good.
Yes.
Good. So the ProPEX fittings are ready to go.
Yes.
The AquaPort is ready to go.
AquaPort is ready to go.
Good. So let's talk about something that I think I saw maybe 3 AHRs ago, and that's the PP-RCT. So what's going on with that? What's new?
So polymer piping solutions in the market, people generally understand, well, they don't pit, scale, or corrode. There's value to having an inert material distribute water around your building. It's going to operate similarly on day one as it is going to on year 1, year 10, year 50, and so on. And there's value to that. I mean, when we think about metallic systems, there's different sizing charts for the age of the material. And so getting that consistency from a hydraulic efficiency standpoint is really important. PP-RCT comes into play because PEX isn't really a feasible solution as you start to go in larger and larger diameters. If you were to watch some 3-inch PEX be extruded, it moves very slow coming off of the extruder. So as you start to think about 4, 6, 8, 10-inch and larger PEX systems, the feasibility of that also decreases. Also, our ProPEX connection, we're taking the PEX and we're expanding it, and we're relying on its elastic memory to come back over the top of that connection. Well, the forces required to expand PEX increases, the diameter goes up. So you would need to have a significant tool in order to expand PEX as you continue to increase size. And that's where we feel really strong about PP-RCT. We think that is the best solution that you can offer when you get to larger diameters. So from a value standpoint to the customer, Uponor brings everything that our customers have come to know and love about us in smaller diameters, in conjunction with the ability to continue to have a polymer system under one warranty, under one brand, as you go larger and larger in your pipe sizes, all the way up to 12-inch right now, with aspirations to go even larger than that for us. Yep.
So if I'm an engineer and I want to specify this product, or a contractor that wants to install it, I mean, how would I go about understanding this, I guess, with Uponor helping me out?
Yeah, so, we have a bunch of different vehicles, I think, to get informed on PP-RCT. So we have our factory sales team. We'd be happy to come out and do a lunch and learn with with any customers or any interested party that would like to learn a little bit more about the material. We have great content on our websites as well. So whether it's our PP-RCT landing page or you're getting through our website and finding your way to PP-RCT, there's a lot of information there. We've done a series of trainings and webinars, and we also partner with industry associations just to talk about the technology more holistically and why polymers are really starting to make the headway that they are in our space over some more of the traditional incumbent materials that we've used for the last 20 plus years.
Okay. But I know that Uponor obviously makes these things, but they kind of stand behind it in terms of helping with BIM services, for example.
Yeah.
Tell me a little more how you kind of integrate not just the PP-RCT, if I got the initials right. I always get that mixed up, but PEX and everything else. I mean, how do you help out the engineer and the contractor specify and install these in their projects?
Yeah, so we have specification services. So we partner with SpecLink. So for any engineers out there that are using SpecLink as a software, a paid software, our products are listed there and can be found. We also have boilerplate specifications on our website. So whether it's using PP-RCT for mechanical piping or using PEX for radiant heating and cooling or for domestic water systems, all those different specifications are there. And I would say that's more for somebody that's trying to learn and explore and see what the specification language looks like when you're considering one of these types of materials. And then we also do fully customized spec support. So if we're working with an engineer and they want to have an Uponor system specified, we will literally take that specification and go through it line by line, as detailed as this engineer wants and as loose or tight as they want, and explain that with them. And all the way down to the hidden text in the notes to the specifier that most people that read specifications, they don't see that, because when you print the specification off, that's all hidden text and it's not there. So all those little things that are informing the engineer as they're going through the selection process, again, we like to make sure the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, and people know full well exactly what they're diving into when they consider specifying our products.
So, a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You've covered everything, right? I mean, is there anything you wouldn't offer that you want to? I mean, there's something else that's not missing here?
I would say so. I think the thing that ties it all together is the thing that we haven't talked about, and that's Uponor project delivery. I think as we've continued to diversify our offering, we've become less of a pipe and fittings company to a solutions provider for our strategic partners.
Okay.
I think when you think about mechanical contractors or engineers or any of the people that are decision makers, they have two folders. They have a folder of the people or the vendors that they will use on projects, and then they have another folder for their preferred partners. And what Uponor Project Delivery is all about is really getting into that preferred position and expanding our customer scope about Uponor beyond pipe and fittings, from conception of a project all the way through operation and occupancy of that job. There's different things that we can do to support our customers that again are beyond pipe and fittings. So whether it's BIM services, we can coordinate a whole entire project for you, and we're going to do that in a material agnostic way. So it doesn't even need to be PEX or PP-RCT. It could be a takeoff for a domestic water system, all the way to laser scanning or digital twins on large-scale commercial projects where you're considering a renovation, and anything in between. So again, it's really about expanding that out and making sure that we're solving our customers' problems, and less about trying to be transactional about, hey, here's some pipe and some fittings that we want to that we'd really appreciate if you bought from us.
Well, you've rattled off quite a lot of things here, but is there something else coming down the pipeline that readers can expect for next year, perhaps, that you can tell us about?
I think you'll have to wait and see. I think one of the things that's been really exciting about this, the situation that we're in, it's been really tough, but there's been an opportunity for us to do a lot of kind of homework and make sure that we're in position to launch some products. So you'll see our services start to expand. You'll see how we connect our services to our products in a more meaningful way over the course of the next 12 months. And we're just starting to plant those seeds and get those things to take off in the marketplace right now. So we're at a really exciting time for our business.
Sounds like it. So with all the training that my readers are particularly interested in, Is there some movement toward back to traditional face-to-face learning about all these things that you mentioned? Or?
Yeah, it's been great to see customers back at our factory. So we've started to bring customers back in. We do a lot of factory training.
Yeah.
We're also doing I know this isn't in person, but we're also launching a new webinar series for the engineering community where they can continue to get their developing or their education credits for for their requirements to maintain their licenseship. We're going to be launching that October 31st, and the first webinar that we're going to be presenting on is actually best practices, ASPE best practices for plumbing design.
Really?
That it won't always be plumbing engineering. It could be snow melt or radiant cooling or whatever, but really making sure that we're providing those opportunities for the engineers to get their continued learning, and in a non-commercial way. These are not going to be Uponor sales pitches when you see a lot of these trainings, and I think that industry stewardship is something that we really try to emphasize at Uponor. Make sure.
Well, it's great to hear. I mean, engineers are the star of this show, but what about installers? Is there anything new coming down the pipe for installers in terms of training?
Yeah, so we have we have our training facility in Apple Valley. We bring a lot of people into our offices for hands-on experience. We also do field training as well. So we have an extensive rep network. They're extremely valuable partners for us, and they will do a lot of hands-on training on job sites and make sure that people understand exactly what they do and that they can feel confident when they do the installation. That's good for them and it's good for us because ultimately we have to stand behind it for 25 years with our warranty, and we want to make sure these systems go in so that way the occupants are getting the best possible interaction with the built environment.
Well, Aaron, I feel like we've read an encyclopedia of plastic polymer systems. Is there anything else that you would like to add that you can share with everybody? I mean, we've covered a lot of stuff right now.
See, I feel like I could probably sit in this chair and go on and on, but I think we did cover a lot of the key things that we're really looking to hit on here.
The next best thing is to come see you at the booth. Now, what is your booth number?
I actually don't know what our booth number is.
We don't know. Oh, well, we'll find out.
There's a bunch of Uponor signs.
It's somewhere down this way.
Yeah, exactly.
we're all the way at the end of the hall, so
1501.
1501.
Visit us at 1501.
Okay, so everybody go see Uponor at 1501. I'm going to go see that AR app. I got play around with that.
Absolutely. Please do, Steve.
Good. Well, thanks for coming.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Really.